How's everybody doing today? Can you picture a world we live in where prescription pill abusers walk around in a mummy-like state? A lot of people addicted to medications drive into the pharmacies heavily sedated just so they can get another fix. Well, prescription pills are becoming the downfall of America, and we as Americans need to do something to put a stop to it. I'm witnessing too many people patients turn into victims because they develop a dependency or an addiction to a prescription pill. Firsthand, I sat back and witnessed some of my closest family members develop an abuse to prescription pills. This made me want to become more interested about it and find out as much as I could to maybe stop them from continuing their addiction. According to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, in 2009, 16 million Americans ages 12 and under, in fact, admitted to taking a pill for a non-medical purpose at least once in a year prior to their survey. I will explain today why prescription pills should be made illegal to non-cancer patients, some of the symptoms to notice in somebody developing addiction, and also some background information on the most addictive medications. We'll start with why prescription medication needs to be illegal to non-cancer patients. First off, non-cancer patients need it to alleviate their pain and some of the things that their body and mind's going through. Their only other options most of the time are chemotherapy and radiation, and a lot of times this seems to do more harm than good. Long-term opioid and central nervous depressant users most of the time end up developing addiction. Central nervous system depressants can slow down brain function, and when combined with alcohol or other medications, it can slow down the heart rate and respiration. Opioids can produce drowsiness, constipation, and can lead to depressant breathing. These side effects are most likely worse than the condition people are taking them for in the first place. Now let's talk about some of the symptoms. Let's talk about the symptoms to notice in someone developing addiction. The first is using medications in progressive amounts. If you notice somebody taking a higher dosage than their doctor prescribed, most of the time, it's self-explanatory. Another thing you could tell in somebody is if they're going to multiple physicians to acquire multiple prescriptions. That's almost a red flag and a dead giveaway right off the bat. According to CDC.gov, patients who in fact do seek multiple prescriptions from multiple doctors account for 40% of opiate abusers. Sorry, those are my dogs. And last but not least is anxiety. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people believe that anxiety is actually decreased by medications, but in fact, medication actually changes the brain's chemistry, and it produces less chemicals that we need to stay calm, such as dopamine and endorphins. Now let me give you a little background information on some of the most addictive prescription pills. Opioids include oxycodone, morphine, hydrocodone, and hydrocodone. According to CDC.gov, since 2003, there's been more overdose deaths off of opioid and analgesics than cocaine and heroin combined. Taking a stand-in prescription pill use will save millions of lives. Each year, more than 6 million Americans, in fact, abuse prescription drugs. That number is up from the year 2000 when it was only 3.8 million. The more you do to help out, the more chance you give someone to overcome an addiction. So we just need, as a country, to band together, do what we can to help each other. Because after all, wouldn't you want somebody to do the same for you? I mean, who knows? It could be you one day. All it takes is getting hooked on these things right here, and it could be all downhill from there. So just remember what you learned today. Hopefully you can apply it to someone who is going through an addiction, and good luck.